Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm on with my design team project for Lavender Blu for the month of February. For this one I used the Tattered Odd Notebook journal printable pages. There's 7 double A4 pages plus a backing page in this kit. So I have made something quite simple, as I did 2 projects for Lavender Blu this month and I had a lot of other projects on the go. And being a Tattered Odd Notebook kit, I decided I would make a Tattered Odd Notebook style journal. So something very different for me. It's not really embellished much at all. It's a good writing journal or glue book, I would say. So the cover is, I hate to say, but it was an old Bible that was falling apart heading for the recycling bin. So I have reused the cover on that. Now it is like cracking down here and everything, but I just think that that adds to the whole tattered notebook look. So I've used a lot of my vintage book pages in this one and ripped out a lot of words. So I found this, it was a book titled Expedition by Raft Across the South Seas. So I just stuck that on there. I've been really random with this one and I just covered the title here with some of the paper from the kit, some of the offcut. I tried to use a lot of the scraps up. So yes, it has 3 signatures and the spine's just over 1 inch wide. It's just over 5 inches in width and it's about 7 6/8 of an inch in height. So there's 136 pages front and back, plus an envelope which I have sewn in as well. So I have used the original pages at the front and the back just because I love them and it just looks so vintage and scruffy. So, and I've just recently purchased some fabric washi from someone on I think it was the boutique group that we have for our junk journal Facebook site, and that worked perfectly because I used paper hinges to join some of the pages and I wanted to cover the hinge, and yeah, the fabric washi worked really nice. Now I've still left like the writing in there that someone had written their name in that. I just like all of that sort of thing, and it was nice just to let go and use a lot of junky stuff in this one. So it's got the writing there that says, "To Evelyn, lots of love, Mum," from Mum. So that's the first kit page. So they're very eclectic, but they're beautiful and grungy. So what I did was ink around the kit pages with black because I thought that suited, and then I did a lot of other pieces in brown, and I ripped out the word contents from one of my book pages. I've done that a lot in this. It was a good way to use up some of the scrappy bits from all the books that I get from the recycling. And it also adds to the kit, I reckon, because some of the kit pages have words on them that look like they've been ripped from vintage books. So I thought I'd carry that theme along. So what I have done is, because I printed the kit out on plain cheap copy paper, some of the heavier prints showed through the back. So I thought it was a good place to use some of my old book pages that have the plainer pages that I can use to write on. And so there again, I've ripped out author's note up there and stuck it on. So I've got some tea-dyed ledger paper, another kit page there, and as you can see, this is where there's been words that look like they've been ripped out of vintage books. So I backed that page with this from the Cuddy Sark. I thought I'd make it, it's almost got a slight steampunk vibe, the kit, but I thought I'd make it like a travel about someone sort of going on their expedition across the seas. So it's got some information about ships and the map and that leads you to this sort of travel vibe. So lovely old book page there, and a nice map that I found. I've just joined that with a paper hinge. Some graph paper. I just like the contrast of the white and the blues in this. Tea-dyed paper, so lots and lots of writing space. I had some vintage appointment book that someone had gifted me, so I've used some of that in there. That's the backing page, this is, from the kit. So it's quite plain and just really grungy, so you can back all the other pages with that one if you like. This is authentic ship's log from the Captain Ship's log from South Australia, I think about the 1950s, and I really love it. So I decided I'd add some of that as well. Beautiful. I'd say this is antique book page from the Cutty Sark book. Just love that. Nice and grungy too. It goes with the darker theme of the papers. And then this is some more of the Captain's log. There were some blanker pieces and they're quite nicely aged, so I added them as well. So the other side of the beautiful Cutty Sark book and the Captain's log and the backing page. I didn't bother covering the back of the backing page because it didn't sort of show through very much. Other side of the appointment sheet. Beautiful map. So that's another page where it would have sort of shown through a bit, which it wouldn't if I did it on my matte photo paper, and it would have come out a lot crisper on matte photo paper, but I wanted this tattered look, dark tattered look, so I did print out on tea-dyed copy paper. So I used some of my book page again. It's just really good to go through and use up this junk. So, and just found interesting words that I like the look of for my theme. Love the pages though. They're a nice eclectic mix of the words and the pictures and, you know, even Rose background there. So it's another book page. It says the pirate was coming up fast. Now that's a sort of steampunky page from the kit, and it says in her dress of crinoline. So I had a book that was titled Madame Bovary, so I just thought that that fit really nice. She's Madame Bovary, she must be the captain of the ship, one would think, or raft I should say. So I just put some of your cheesecloth behind there. And I had ripped up a book once that had all these note pages in. So I thought I'd add one of them for more journaling space. So this is our second signature. Beautiful page. You could make this kit nice and pretty too and run with the sort of teal colours and that, which would look really nice, and some white lace and everything, which I might in the future because I did print it out a few times, so I might do that the next time I use it. Just some vintage book paper, and I used some offcut of the kit page. Just backed it onto some more book paper. This could be used as a bookmark and journaled on. This is some beautiful coffee dyed paper that my mum gave me. She uses a lot of junk papers and occasionally she'll have a big dye up session, and this was in her last lot and it was gorgeous, and I love it because it says Island in the Sun. So I thought that was fitting to put in here, but I love the effect she got on the edges. Nice and tattered and really dark and grungy. So now this is an envelope that I have altered, and I have used bits offcuts of the kit to alter that as well. So I have made this little journaling card with more offcuts and a word from a book. Just onto some old book page. Put that back in. So that can just be journaled on, both the envelope and the card. Some more ship's log paper, tea dyed. Another kit page. Said they're a lot brighter and prettier if they're done on your photo mat or on white paper, but I just wanted to grunge it up. Lovely pages though. It's just another old vintage page, and I like that it had the stain from some really old sticky tape there. So some German ledger paper of some description that I was gifted. Just like the brown in it. Some maths type paper. Thought that sort of goes a bit with the steampunk theme. Some of that, I forgot what that was called last time. Shorthand, that's the one. And beautiful vintage picture of a ship. So that's the middle of the second signature. That's a lovely page for journaling on as well, so I just left it like that. Lots and lots of writing space. Nice vintage picture of a starling. Now this is an envelope. I might clip it on, although it hasn't fallen out, so I don't need to. It's just a craft paper envelope, and I put a beautiful little picture of a bird on there. I've just left it plain because I actually like the plainness of this. Also, if the recipient wants to use it as a glue book or something, there's heaps of room there to be able to add your own touch to it. Another blank book page, and it has some, I don't know what language it is, but I really liked it, so I stuck it there. It's another kit page, some tea-dyed graph paper. It's the other side of the altered envelope, and then if you turn that over, it does have a window. And so I have just used this book page with the beautiful little birdie just to make a nice journaling card. I've backed that with the, I think that's the backing page from the kit that I've ripped up there, and covered this with kit and graft paper. Try and get him back in there so you can see the little bird. So the other side of my mum's paper. Another encounter, it says, and I found some little just sayings that were in one of the books, and this one says, a ship appears off the island, the captain and 2 others landed as prisoners, we attack and overcome the mutinous crew, the ship secured. So I thought that would go nicely in here. And then I found this beautiful picture, and I like this one again because it's almost steampunkish with the hot air balloons fighting with the ships. And then I just tucked the other side of the page up to make a little tuck spot there, and I thought I'd leave the print there because it's all about ships and that. And I had this, I don't know if it's handmade or elephant poo paper or something, someone just recently gifted that to me, so I just stuck another little ripped out author's note, words from a book, and made a journaling card with this. Now this one's a tight fit, but it does slip in there. That will do. Kit page. And this is just random book page, and these must have fallen off of books. Little barcodes and numbers and that. That one doesn't look too healthy, but I like the colouring, so I stuck it on there just for something different. So this is some craft paper that someone recently wrapped a swap in for me. So I just like that crinkle of this one in here, and the brown. Some more of the captain's log. Another kit page. And then I've backed that one with this. It is, it's about a survey on whale catching. So it's got the numbers of whales caught in the Antarctica and that. So I thought that would go nicely in here. Some receipt page or ledger. So yeah, heaps and heaps of writing space or glue booking space. Now this is another little envelope that fell out of one of my old books. It's tattered, but I didn't bother sticking that together because I want this to be tattered. And I just shoved a bit of vintage receipt paper in there to journal on, and I covered it just with a bit from the kit because it did have someone's name on there when I found it. That I might end up paper clipping just over the top of that page. So I've backed that page with some more book paper and a picture of a pelican, and it just says the ancient world. And just all the other sides of the papers I've previously shown you. This one has the last battle at the top, ripped from a book. And it says, I make preparations for leaving the island. Part of the ship's crew are left behind. I bring away some relics of my long imprisonment, my arrival in England after 35 years absence. So I assume that Madame Bovary is from England, which would be quite fitting with a name like that. So it's almost slightly a concept journal, but yeah, I just stuck whatever I felt in. So, and then that's the last kit page. It's a lovely kit. As I said, you could do a fair bit of unique journals with it. You could run with the teal colour and the lace and make it really pretty, or you can grunge it up and make something like this. So I really loved doing this with it, and I want to make more journals like this in the future because I really like it. It's a good way of using up these real old tattered covers, leather covers. And then I've just stuck a library card pocket in the back. I found the most tattered, disgusting one that I have collected so far and stuck that in. So yeah, I love the way that turned out. As I said, there's heaps of space in there, and it was a great use for that kit, I reckon. Something very different for me, and it was really nice to get my grunge on and use just a lot of junk in it. So would be good to do more of that. I loved going through and finding little words which I thought would go nicely in there as well. So I hope you guys like it too, and if you like the kit or want to check out Lavender Blu's other kits, I'll put the links down below. So have fun and take care, everyone. See you later.